What's up, guys? Welcome to another Talking Bull podcast. I'm Anthony. This is Nick. We're here to bring you our weekly nerd news as well as talk some bull. Starting off with the news we were talking about last week. James Gunn's not coming back. They did their little backdoor meeting things, and they're like, "No, we're not bringing him back." So that was pretty much a given. Now it's official. Yeah. Not any surprise there. We saw the new look for the Flash suit for season 5. Of The Flash.
What did you think of it?
It kind of looks... I don't like the visor.
They got rid of the chin strap.
Yeah.
Right? Looks a little odd.
Yeah.
Makes his head look kind of bigger. Like the helmet looks bigger on the top of his head.
Yeah, but even like the eye gap thing there, just, I don't know, the rest of the suit looks great. I'm not a big fan of it.
It looks the same. Like, I know they like in the article it said we moved from the leather and stuff like that, but I'm like, then why does it still look the same? Like,
I think like if you look at the shoulders and the gloves,
yeah, it's more fabric.
Certain parts of it, I think, and the thigh there too, it's less leather and more fabric-y looking.
I see it, but I'm like, it doesn't look all that different.
Yeah.
Than
I wish it looked more like one piece as opposed to several things.
Yeah, there's something off still about it.
It looks like those are separate gloves.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's any better than the last one.
Yeah.
It's like you made the same suit, but with fabric.
Yeah.
So the same suit doesn't look any better.
No.
You know, it's just...
Yeah.
You moved from the leather jacket because Cisco probably lost that discount.
At Leathers R Us.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were a subsidiary of... Toys R Us.
Yeah.
We just had that conversation of me fucking up words as I say them. Yeah, exactly. Did you see this? I was trying to guess if this was actually an inkling of bullshit or what it was, but it was like,
from what I understand it was, but it was old.
Yeah. So there was this old news, might have been new news, but we got the news about the news on Tom Cruise reportedly being a front runner to play Green Lantern, but he was going to die as Hal, and that's where the story was going to go with. And then he was like, I won't be in the movie unless you change the script because I don't want to be killed off. And just like, I don't want Tom Cruise to play Hal. But I don't actually want a big name actor to do it. Mm-hmm. I think for the most part, these characters work when it's a relatively low-name character or nobody at all.
Yeah.
Depending on who it is and what they're doing. But like Tom Cruise as Hal would just be bad.
I think the idea was that it was because he was older, but then the new name is John.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm just like, I don't want them to make a Green Lantern with Jon Stewart as the main character. I want Hal. Mm-hmm.
Well, you're getting it's both of them.
I'm okay with both. Yeah, as long as they share equal, as long as they share kind of equal footing, I'm okay with that. Yeah. But I don't want just Jon Stewart. And like I know that's where they're leaning because everyone grew up with Jon Stewart. Yeah. Even I had Jon Stewart as the Justice League cartoon, but I'm like, I know Hal is the Green Lantern. Mm-hmm. But yeah. This was funny. Did you see this? Don Cheadle confirmed that Mark Ruffalo absolutely spoiled Infinity War.
Oh, like a year ago.
Yeah, that cringy interview where it's like, maybe everyone dies kind of thing, and like they kind of played it off a little bit. Yeah, and then he went on a thing and he was like, yeah, 100% he fucked that up and confirmed that he spoiled the movie when he wasn't supposed to. And I'm like, just keep your damn mouth shut. Like, it's not that hard. I don't understand how you keep like accidentally revealing things. Mm-hmm. Like, you're not gonna get cast in movies that way. But I thought that was funny. Mm-hmm. It was last week's. That's kind of it for movie stuff. And this was sad. I was kind of upset. Netflix cancels Joe McHale's show as well as Melissa Wolf's show. I'm like, I didn't watch her show, but I love the Joe McHale show.
What was it called?
The Joe McHale show.
Oh, this is...
Yeah.
They canceled it?
Yeah. They just didn't see the numbers to warrant keep doing it. Mm-hmm. And I guess a lot of people were annoyed that they canceled both, but more so his than hers, because she was I'm pretty sure she was the one that did that White House dinner. that everyone
Okay.
thing. Yeah, and so everyone was just pissed off at it anyways. But there was a lot of people that were vocal basically because Netflix did these two shows as weekly shows, and you kind of forgot they were there. Mm-hmm. As opposed to just dropping them and binging. Mm-hmm. I would love to see the numbers because initially, remember, they did week to week, and then they got 6 more episodes for Joe McHale, and then dropped all 6 at once.
Yeah.
I would love to see like the number correlation between those two. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, you did 6 shows again. Why didn't you feel that he needed more? The Fantastic Four writer apologized for his phone movie. he was doing the rounds for another movie, and he was talking about movies that he wanted to write for. Like, and there was like 4 of them, and one of them was a Marvel movie, and he was like, "Yeah, sorry for that, guys." So, at least someone's taking responsibility for Fantastic Four stick.
Fantastic Four stick.
It's bad. Star Trek Discovery has cast Spock. Gregory Peck's grandson. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Where? Oh my God! Where? Ethan.
Ethan Peck.
Ethan Peck. He was on the 10 Things I Hate About You TV show that they did. Mm-hmm. He's in Discovery. He's going to be playing Spock in the TV show that's on, mm-hmm. Going into its 2nd season. Which I can now confirm is fantastic.
You watched it?
I watched it all finally. The ending is pretty cool. It leads right up until them just... spoilers. Just in case anyone ever gets around to watching that and says this. At the very end, Discovery gets a distress call from a ship. And they're like, oh, what's his signature? And it starts coming up on the screen, like the NC-17 or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they're like, it's the Enterprise. And it's... the way the show works is Sarek, Spock's dad, is on the ship with them, and then like they introduce like Spock's adoptive sister, and she's on the ship too, and they're like, it's the Enterprise, and they both kind of share a look, and then it ends and it plays the entire old Star Trek theme as a cue that it's the Enterprise.
So what does Discovery fit into this?
It's before Kirk is captain of the Enterprise.
So it's before.
So it's you know how the Kelvin timeline shows up and it's Pike in control of the Enterprise?
Yeah.
This is what is going to happen in the show right now. Pike is the captain of the Enterprise.
So
Spock.
This isn't the Kelvin side of things.
No, this is the I don't know what they call it, but the main one universe.
Mm-hmm. Kelvin is strictly just the movie.
Yeah. And this is all the main stuff, and this takes place before and then concurrent right before, because the original TV show, there was a pilot before the first run of shows where Pike was captain of the Enterprise. Mm-hmm. This takes place kind of around that area, so I'm intrigued to see how they interweave it. And then we talked about a while ago the Enterprise having to look slightly different based on where it was. I mean, it looked pretty much like the Enterprise to me, but I'm like, I wasn't nitpicking the shit out of it. But whatever. Discovery's good. That was cool. MoviePass is uncanceling people's accounts. So there's been so much news with what MoviePass.
Changes funny things on.
Yeah, like they've changed so much of their stuff to initially what it was and then this. So what happened was it used to be a monthly thing where the billing cycle was on the 25th of the month. And if you were canceling your subscription for that, you would be fine. But what happened was they changed their subscription model to include 3 movies a month for $9.95 and 5% off additional things. But what happened was, if your thing was in the middle of that, if you already canceled it and you like say you open the app or whatever, yeah, because you still had it, right? So if you canceled it, but it's still in the billing cycle, so you got to do it. If you open your app, what happened is you get this thing. It says update to MoviePass, and then it says we listened, we changed all this, blah blah blah, and it just says more details or accept, and basically like you kind of had to accept it if you were on this. There was no way around it.
Yeah.
So if you canceled it, but then it would just go back to adding you to the plan, and you can't cancel that one, and it would charge you for another month.
Every time you tried to cancel, you kept getting charged for another month.
Well, the initial time that it would do it. And I'm just like, okay. Yeah. Emotional. blah blah blah. Yeah, because they suspended the ticket variation pricing. Yeah, if you had originally canceled prior to your account, you'll not be canceled. So if you tried to cancel your account, went into this thing, but tried to do it, you kind of had to accept this. But there was a workaround, I think, on the website. Mm-hmm. But I'm just like, if you were using the app, you were kind of fucked. I'm like, that's kind of bullshit and a little suspect. But you know what? What do you expect from a company that clearly does have any idea how to run a business? I thought that was really funny. We got a new trailer for Iron Fist. As the teaser trailer we got before, this was a full-on trailer. Mm-hmm. It shows more of the fight between the two, the main character and his brother rival that's going to be in the thing. It actually looks really good. It shows Danny trying to adjust to who he is and what he's going to do, and all while trying to fight this guy who like is kind of his equal.
Is he supposed to be filling in for Matt too? Because that's how Defenders ended. It seemed like it
kind of seems like they're inching towards that, but like I think for the most part their advertising is kind of trying to stay within Iron Fist. Mm-hmm. I don't know within the show what's going to happen, but we'll see what.
Like he's in New York, right? And he's in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Not? So he's still in like Daredevil's area, like his stomping.
Yeah. Well, because they all live in that same area, right? We talked about this, I think a month ago or a few months ago. The USA Network officially picked up the Treadstone TV series. I thought that was pretty cool. So it'll focus on before its fall in the Bourne movies, as well as subsequent agents that they'd had being reactivated and how they have to deal with the fallout from that. So I thought that was kind of cool. I'll definitely check that out. I like the Bourne franchise, and to see kind of like a spin-off within its own thing.
Bourne, like the one that came out like a few years ago.
I watched. Yeah, I watched that one last year, the year before. Yeah, it was alright. It was good. Yeah, because they tried to do. Matt said he didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
So they brought in Reiner to do it, and his wasn't too bad. But the plan was to have them collab and do a movie, but I guess that fell through when Reiner's didn't do as well as they wanted to. And I'm like, what do you expect? Vampire is coming to television thanks to McGee and Fox. Vampire is kind of like a big game that came out in the last little bit, and McGee's going to step in and direct it and be executive producer and a whole bunch of other shit because that's what he does. Basically, the game revolves around a doctor who finds himself with vampire abilities and whether or not he should do the right thing and all his desire for blood. Came out in June. People seem to really like it, so they're getting on that like let's get these things rolling. Not 6 years after the thing comes out kind of hype. Yeah. Speaking of 6 years down the road hype, the Watchmen TV show got an order. It's a series from HBO, so we saw that they had done like preliminary stuff and maybe they decided to pick it up, so we'll get a few episodes of that. I'm intrigued to see what they do. Like, we've already seen the Watchmen in movie and on everywhere else. They brought them back for the comics, and this was just another thing of that. I'm intrigued to see what they change, how they do it. How do you make it an episodic TV show? Because like the source material is,
and this takes place after the source material.
So who knows what they're gonna do? I want it to be good. That's all I can hope for. I'm not expecting like great things from it, but it is HBO and they usually don't fail when it comes to shit like that. So I'm intrigued to see what they do with that. Talk about this. Archie, it's gonna have 700. It's hitting issue 700, and I went, good for you, Archie. And then there was a whole bunch of like there's a whole bunch of like variant covers that they're going to do naturally, because that's what you do when you hit it. They say it's not a reboot, because they did reboot it in like 2005 to make it more modern, but it's not bad.
Cool.
Yeah, it does look modern. It looks different. And then like he dies in something, and then I think that was a subsequent books. But I thought that was cool. I like when they hit big milestones like that. So Good for Archie. It seems like a lot of these comics now are in this year and next year and the year before that hitting their big numbers. We're in that year where everything's either hitting like it's 600, 700 or 800 issue or like the 20th or 25th anniversary of shit. And it's just like, I think today, as we record, it's Saturday, is the 23rd anniversary of Mortal Kombat the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, fuck. That is a lot. PlayStation VR, moving into games, has sold 3 million units since its initial launch. And I think that's pretty good for the little VR headset that it is and its price point and what's on it. We talked a few weeks ago about what games are on it, and they're all kind of still tech demo-y. So to sell 3 million units, I think that's pretty good. I'm not sure what ballpark numbers they wanted, but they got to be happy with at least 3 million. I'd be happy with that, especially for what's like, what, 500 here for the unit?
The whole thing.
Yeah. And then plus like you need the console on top of that. So like, I mean, it is the cheapest of the VR headsets, but I think that's pretty good for the numbers. Yeah. Bruce Campbell is going to be in an Evil Dead video game. We talked a few weeks ago how he was retiring the character. Remember, everyone was like, boo. And then it was like, oh yeah, but I have this contract thing I have to do, which is a game. But he's not just like going to lazily phone it in and do the voices. He's going to do full motion capture everything. So it seems like this game, they're trying to make it a decent game. Yeah. And they have 2 other Evil Dead games, but I'm excited for this one. I like
2 other old ones?
Yeah, old ones. Yeah, I think they're like Xbox, PlayStation 2 era games. I never played them, but I know of them. But this is cool. I hope they make this good. I love Evil Dead as a franchise. It was sad they got canceled, and a lot of that was to do with piracy and the fact that it aired on Stars. Some of the your HBOs for the most part are fine, but like your Showtimes, your Stars, and like things like that, your AMCs, they're not the best for shows because they only have so many, and they can only like. I don't like where they are basically.
Yeah, you have to get them. To get them is a ring around.
Yeah, because like
have those channels.
At least HBO's got a whole programming slot. From what I understand, like Stars has very few shows. Yeah, and then they just play movies. Yeah, and then Showtime, like, same thing. AMC, yeah.
Shows, and then it's just
The Walking Dead.
Generic,
yeah.
Rerun syndication channel. Type thing, or just playing whenever, filling in time.
No, I'm just not a fan of those channels, and it's just I think it hurts a lot of these shows. I think it also hurts that like they're not universally accessible across nations. So like in the US, easy to get, not here. Yeah. Like Stars, hard to get. HBO, pain in the ass. And then like they did this a few years ago where you couldn't air Game of Thrones on TV when it aired because of like the deal with the movie network and HBO. So they started airing them on like City TV, but like the show was going into 5, I think, and they were starting with 1, and it wouldn't have caught up by the time like season 5 aired, and everyone went, "Gee, thanks!" Like 5 years too late for that, and it's like because again, the movie network is a massive fucking subscription that you have to pay for, and it's garbage. Yeah, and that's how you get all these shows. And they wonder why people are cutting cable. Cable's stupid. Cut it. I mean, you won't be able to watch TLC anymore, but I don't think you need to watch the backwards ass hicks who have 19 kids try to be a family. I mean, I don't trust that, and obviously look what happened. We got a first trailer for the Star Wars Resistance TV show.
It looked okay.
It looks okay. I don't mind the animation. It's the new thing they're kind of going for. It looks fine. It's got Poe in it and BB-8, and it's right before the new movies, which I actually forgot what timeline it was set on. So when I saw it, I'm all like, what? Oh, right. My problem with it is it's a shitty trailer that doesn't kind of explain what the show is. No. Like, there's hints at, like, what its overall narrative is, but it looks more like your generic, like, Hot Wheels show for back in the day where they're like, we're just going to race shit.
Yeah, or, like, here's Poe, because you guys know him from the movie.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
What's your overall arc? What are they doing? And they're like, he's like, oh, you can come here and fly, but I don't want to hear about your spy stuff. And I'm like, I would. Could you do that arc? Like, as a first trailer to introduce you to the show, I didn't think it was that good for that. The voice acting sounds great. The animation looks cool. I will check this out because I like the stuff that's set between kind of like the overall narrative. Like, yeah, you don't necessarily need these as a backstory, but they are cool, like the Clone Wars and then Rebels and then this. But just as an overall, I didn't think it was that strong of a thing. Like, the fucking write-up sounds better than the actual thing itself. But, yeah. We got that. It was interesting. There's some more stuff that I just... Spyro got delayed until November. I was kind of like, sweet. Because now it'll allow me to play more things and have more time to finish things. But so it was delayed till, I think, November or something. But what happened was, I don't think we talked about this, but Spyro, initially, the one game was on the disc. And then the other ones you had to download. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And everyone was super pissed off. They're like, "Why can't you Crash fit on the one disc? Why can't you get all these on one disc?" And I was kind of like, I don't care. I'm not buying the disc anyway. And it was split between the like, this is a cash grab, so you can't resell it kind of thing, to the other half of my camp was like, I'm gonna download all three anyway, so it really doesn't fucking matter. Yeah. But so they put out their like, we want to make sure this is the best game possible.
So I would go to the store though, and I would buy the disc.
Yeah.
For $30. How much? What price? What's the price?
It's probably going to be that like $40 price point. Okay, like not top tier, but like tier,
But let's say $40-$50.
Yeah.
I go to a store and buy the disc for $40-$50. I come home.
Yeah.
And on that disc is only one game.
Yeah.
That I now have to download the other two.
Yeah.
In that thing, does it have the codes for the other two games? I'm not paying again.
No. It was. I think it gave you like either the codes or just be like, go to the menu and download them like you would DLC when you do it. It gives you the option to download all of it at once.
Yeah.
But so this rumor now is instead of their like generic response of like, we want to make it the best game have, apparently the backlash was so strong and they're worried about this game not doing well that they're trying to get all three games on the disc. And I'm like,
is it just not enough space?
There should be. It's a fucking Blu-ray disc. And these games aren't that big. They're PS1 era games. I mean, you are updating the entire game, but like,
they should fit.
Come on, you got The Witcher and shit on one disc. You got all those Batman games on one disc. There's no reason these Spyro games should not be able to get on one disc. It does seem a little stupid and shitty that they did that. But I'm just glad we're getting the games, and they're not just like, sure they are type of ones. They actually went back and redid them.
Yeah.
I've been playing the Crash on stream, and I've actually progressed.
Oh yeah.
I haven't like collected everything, but I've beaten game 3 and game 2. I'm working on game 1 right now, and I'm like, holy shit! Because I remember when I just got fucking so frustrated that I stopped playing the entire thing because of what. But yeah, I'm progressing slowly, but I'm getting there. So I was happy about that. And then we talked about at E3, Halo Infinite was shown off. And we saw that one trailer where like Master Chief's walking with his group and there's like this weird looking dinosaur thing and it says Halo Infinite and everyone went, the fuck is that? Is it 6? Is it a prequel? Is it a fucking Battle Royale game? What is it? Microsoft confirmed it is Halo 6. 100%. I think I'm just speculating because I didn't read the article, because why would you need to read it for this? My speculation is that they just wanted to not put a number on it, especially being at the end of a life cycle, maybe potentially in the new life cycle of a next console, not having the burden of the number. Plus Halo 5 was just an absolute garbage fire. So they I think they want to stick away from that. We talked about that. Okay, so I think the big thing, I don't know if you've seen this, I'm coming across stuff, but there's been this whole big thing with IGN and their one of their editors and their host of their Nintendo voice chat podcast, Philip Munchin. He put out a review for this game called Dead Cells. And you're like, okay, that's normal shit. They do that all the time. What happened was the next day, a creator from the YouTube channel Boomstick Gaming was like, IGN copied my review, what do I do? And put that up. And it started making the rounds, and a lot of people started seeing it. And I guess what Munchin had done was basically copied the entire guy's review and used it as his.
Yeah.
So he fucking plagiarized the entire thing. And IGN was like, oh, we'll look into it, blah, blah, blah. So a little bit of time passed, and basically, yeah, he did. They found enough similarities in his work from that review to be that it is pretty much the same as his the same review. I want to see if they have. No, that's not it. There was an article that like word for word put what he had done. I think this is it. This is Kotaku. Yeah. So like you can see look
in most games of this genre.
Yeah. Like he barely changed, he just changed words like just to make it sound different. Like so Boomsticks is like Dead Cells only falters slightly with some repetition setting in, especially on the early ages and during longer play sessions. And then Mution wrote, Dead Cells does falter slightly with some repetition, but it only felt in the early stages and during extended play sessions. Yeah. Like you can see it. It's fucking word for word, just changing various things. And like some people, when this initially came out, people were like, okay, internet speak, reviewers speak, like a lot of things like, oh, the environment, this, that, and the other. Yeah. They're going to sound similar based on whatever you read. Mm-hmm. But this was like way too much of a fucking coincidence to make it.
See all these paragraphs.
Exactly. To make it any sort of stuff. So they looked at it, and IGN was like, we have to pull it down, we'll re-review it, we apologize, and they fired him. And then it went quiet. And then this idiot put out a video on his YouTube channel. Basically, Philip put out on his channel, basically like not apologizing for it and just doing like one of those apologies that's not really apology.
Yeah.
But then he did the stupidest fucking thing he could have done, which he called out Jason Schreier from Kotaku, which we know like. First, don't ever call out a journalist because they will fucking burn you. They will scorch earth. And, like, don't call out Jason Schreier because he's one of the best fucking actual game journalists that there is right now. So he was like, you can go ahead and look and see if I found anything. Like, if I plagiarized anything else, go ahead and take a look. Mm-hmm. Well, they did. And they found a shit ton more. He has done it so many fucking times. That they had to pull his Doom review on Switch, his Skyrim review on Switch, his FIFA review. I think there was a few more, and like just like, are you fucking kidding me? And then like apparently, so like he did that. He ripped his Bayonetta 2 review from Polygon. He took a video word for word from a NeoGAF post, a number of videos which he just reads experts from Wikipedia talking about like Super Mario and shit like that, as if he had written them. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what are you doing? And then his Octopath Traveler article was copied by a guy who works at IGN. And then like his LinkedIn resume is copied from the template of a job website.
Oh yeah.
Like you can look at this thing, it's like exactly the same. It's ridiculous. Like, and then everyone was like, "Don't call them out." And now, of course, IGN has to deal with this shitstorm of like, "Why'd you hire this guy?" Blah blah blah. It makes them look really bad.
Yeah.
And like, you go into any comment now that any review that they have up now is like, so who copied this one? And, yeah, and it's like just you fuck them so badly. Like everyone in the industry was talking about this, that I saw, like Twitter, anywhere, because like this, you plagiarized and hurt basically the number one source for this type of stuff. Like when you think of like, hey, I'm gonna look at a review or any sort of article for gaming, the first thing you think of is IGN. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't go there that often now because their website is absolute dog shit, but yeah, when I want to see a review, I will type in the IGN review to get that review itself. But like, they have to pull down everything he did and go over it and redo it, and you just tarnish this fucking website. And it actually was like, and a bunch of people from IGN at first were like, they didn't say anything, and then after all this stuff came out, they just started fucking like doing shit and like saying stuff, and it was just like, it's fucking sad. Like, how hard is it? I mean, it's hard, don't get me wrong, but how hard is it to just write your own review?
Yeah.
Like, and if you
what you do, it can't be that hard.
Exactly. And if you can't handle the load, tell your boss or something. Don't fucking plagiarize everything you fucking did. And everyone was like, oh, how come IGN hired this guy? They didn't notice that he was doing all this, blah, blah, blah. And like, well, I mean, it's kind of hard. Like, you can't check every fucking site on the planet to see if he's plagiarizing something.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like a fucking... Because a lot of people are like, why don't you use that thing that colleges use, that tune-in fucking thing?
There's some type of program, yeah.
You can't do that because, like, all of it will sound plagiarized. Like we said, the generic game speak will come up as plagiarism. But, like, to just copy it verbatim or change one fucking word, like, come on, man. It's not that hard. Play the game, talk about it. That's a review. Like, we give mini reviews on shit all the time. It's not... Just, it was kind of stupid. And then, like, yeah, he fucked up, but then everyone was, like, kind of dogpiling on him. I mean, like, kind of justifiably, but, like, then they were threatening him, and then they were threatening his family, and then they were calling his family, and it's just like, you guys, you did it again, you went too far. And it's like, stop that. And it's starting to really piss me off because it's just unnecessary. I didn't put it up there, but it happened with Batgirl, too.
Oh,
she deleted her Twitter.
Got rid of Twitter, yeah.
Because people were fucking harassing her, one, for not being gay enough, and then when they decided that was enough, they're like, you know what, you're not Jewish enough to be Batgirl. And I just went, or Batwoman, whatever. I'm just like, fuck off.
I did hear, though, she's not a good actress.
Okay, critique her on that.
Which I've heard a couple things on, and like different reviews, like comments about the situation, or not even about that situation, just her casting.
Yeah.
And she was on Orange Is the New Black, which everyone was kind of like, oh,
that's a good show.
Apparently, though, she was like the weakest link on Orange Is the New Black.
See,
which though, when I heard it, I was like, well, that's perfect for this CW.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like,
I am 100. If you want to critique the actor for having a bad job at acting, fine, we do it all the fucking time.
I did hear that she wasn't.
That is totally acceptable. But this fucking notion that like you're not gay enough, or you're not Jewish enough, or you're a white person.
I didn't know that Batwoman was Jewish.
I don't care.
I didn't know she was.
Exactly. Like, why is that a thing? She's an actress playing.
Well, you can't have actresses or actors.
Oh, I know. There was another fucking thing this week. The guy cast as a gay in the Disney movie. Yeah. And I'm just like, it's an actor playing a part. Why not? I made this fucking argument the other day, and I've seen a bunch of people arguing it. I almost said Sean William Scott. That's not right. Barney from How I Met Your Mother.
Okay.
That dude is as gay as the night is long. Plays the straightest guy possible. Why is that okay?
It was okay because it's on the other side.
You can't have both standards.
No, there are standards.
You can't. I call bullshit. I don't care what the internet says.
There are certain things that other people can complain about, and there are certain things that you can never complain about.
I can't complain about anything. I'm a straight white male. I have no fucking issues. I have all the rights, but none of the rights. But then, like, and another example was the guy from Blue Collar.
Shit.
Boom? Is it Boomer?
Yeah.
Boom? Matthew Boomer.
Yeah.
He's gay as well, playing a straight actor. I'm just like, playing a straight actor. Pretty much a straight man. Like, who cares? Like, I understand getting the LGBTQT bunch of other letters. Yeah. Equal representation to take roles in Hollywood. I understand that. Yes. And I understand getting equal roles. But why can't they just play anything? Why does it have to be a gay person? Why can't
they just play the straight guy?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
just get equal job.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you want? You just want a steady.
Isn't that what the whole equality thing is for? The women's rights and all that things too?
Like we've talked about before is like the idea of equality and then the idea of what they consider to be equality. We want to play all the gay roles. Well, don't you just want to play any role?
You're like that's my whole thing with like you want to be an actor, be an actor. Yeah. Why do you like? I understand breaking down walls and being gays, getting equal,
and then like they're saying like I get it and I understand what they're trying and like I see where we are in the world. Or whatever, like, but I'm like you're taking 2 steps forward, but then I think you take a step back every now and then. Like you're not always moving forward. You're
Big Bang. What's his face?
Sheldon.
Yeah.
He's gay.
Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah. But he's just he's a steady
and no one knew before that, and he's still playing the same actor. He's still playing the same character. Mm-hmm. He's a straight dude. Who cares? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't understand it, and it's not because I'm like, oh, I'm not gay, so I don't get it. No, it's stupid.
It just seems like it's just one of those weird things where it's moving forward, but then like. You're creating your own set of.
It's basically like they want their cake and eat it too, but like no one else can.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like
they just want to play all the roles.
Yeah. And I'm just like.
They want the equality to play the straight roles, but then they can only get the gay exclusive roles too.
And if he like, I understand if he's playing like a stereotype gay, and you're like, that's not cool. I understand that. Yeah. That's not cool. It's not like it's not the '90s anymore. It's not cool.
But if he's just playing like a gay dude, and no stereotype tied to it, then why is it?
What I don't. Yeah,
he was cast. He obviously, and the thing is, like, you don't know. They might have auditioned 5 gay men, and
we only know the role they got.
Like you never know. Like 35 people could have auditioned for this role. 8 of them could have been gay. Whatever. And he's the one that they chose, like, he was the best one for the job. Yeah. That is my inclination for everything. Yeah. It's the best person for the job. I don't care what creed, race, fucking sexual orientation you are. That stuff is things that you're not supposed to ask.
Yeah, right? Like, I don't care. Like, be who you want to be. So the best get the best job. I understand. I 100% get the industry is stuck in its ways and does not accept all of that. I understand that. But what I'm saying is, why can't you just fucking be the best actor you want to be
and get the job?
Get the job, like
because it comes down to like them. I think it's the idea that now they feel that based on what you just said about the industry being stuck in their ways and not moving forward. So they don't know if he got the job because he was the best.
Or because they wouldn't hire
him. He got the job because he was a straight guy and they wouldn't have hired him.
But like we've seen indications where top level gay actors have gotten high prolific roles. Yeah. We just named 3 examples of it. Like
but maybe it just doesn't work as common.
Maybe, but like that's and I'm like that's 3 separate major studios as well.
Yeah, like I get the idea of what you're doing, I get it, I understand it, but every now and then it just feels like you're creating the barrier that you're trying to break down. Like,
I don't. Did we talk about this on the podcast, or me and you just talking about it? But the best actor and best actress thing.
Well, you were saying they should get rid of it.
Yeah, because Nick Scarpino brought it up on Kind of Funny. He was like, "You want to get rid of whatever, blah blah blah. Just have the best actor category." Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "That's fucking genius." Yeah. You're the best. Exactly. You're the best of the best.
Actress, they split it into.
But then, like we were saying, and other people have said it as well, the second a woman doesn't win that award, it comes down to that's because they chose the man automatically, and it's like.
So you can do that, but you got to for the next 5 years, only women are going to win. Which then it's rigged because then it's on the other side where it's like, well, it seems rigged because like. You're only wanting to like.
But then you have to like.
But on that side, you'll never be able to discredit or prove that they're only choosing women.
Yeah, I don't want to get too far down this rabbit hole of 2 white guys bitching about this. But then like, what happens when like the minority doesn't win then?
Yeah.
Like there's an African American dude in there and he's like, oh, I didn't win because I'm black, and I'm like, come on.
Yeah, but it would, again, it's the idea of like they create the barriers.
Yeah.
But then like you're fighting for equality, but you're still making sure that there's some lines that are drawn.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Damn. It's shitty. I get that for people of that sexual orientation or the LGBTQ community. I understand they have a lot of fucking problems with doing anything based on what they are, and that's absolute bullshit. Who fucking cares what someone is? Mm-hmm. Like, if they're the best at that job, let them have that fucking job. Doesn't matter what fucking career you're in. Who gives a shit? Mm-hmm. If that person is better than me at that job, they should get that job. And the person who fucking cries foul for that, I want to punch in the head. Well, he got that job because he's gay. I'm like, maybe he got that job because he's fucking better than you. Yeah. Like, did you ever think about that? No, because you're a fucking dick. But then it goes the same way of like, well, he got that job because he's straight. I didn't get it because I'm gay. And I'm like, maybe he's better than you. You don't know. Like, I mean, that's not always the case, but like, it's probably the case in certain times.
It can't always be a negative thing. Sometimes there has to be a positive where they just were truly better.
Yeah, maybe you're just a shitty actor. Did you ever think about that? You didn't get the role because you suck. Like, I just straight white guy talking about shit. Welcome to the podcast. There's my song. What are we at?
41.
Wow, there was like just. It was all kind of short things. I thought this story would be longer, but this guy's just a shitty asshole. And like, he'll never work again in the industry. Like,
I'm sure he will somewhere.
Well, he won't review, and like he's burned.
He hasn't reviewed for years.
He's burned every bridge possible, and then like calls out Kotaku, which is really stupid.
Just start his own podcast. It's easy.
He has his own YouTube channel that he used to like burn his own fucking thing. Yeah, I pretty much went through all the news I had. Everything else was like do stuff. Wow. I wanted to at least hit 45. Let's see if there's any news coming up. Ooh, this should be good. See, Amel's been talking a lot about what's going on with Arrow. He's trying to grow the goatee.
Yeah.
Says he's having some trouble growing it. I'm like, okay. I hate this fucking website. I want to see what Batista said here. Ooh. Go away, Batista. So he tweeted out on an update to the James Gunn thing is, thanks for making America great again. And I'm just like, Gunn fucked up.
Yeah.
A long time ago. And
well, now he's gonna walk, right?
Yeah.
Batista?
Yeah.
He's gonna walk.
Yeah.
He's gonna try. That's what he said. He said he would ask to be let go of his contract if they didn't bring him.
Yeah.
But in the article I read the other day, it still did list that they were using his script. The only thing is, like, you bring in the next director, and then he's obviously going to want to do his own. Like, he most likely won't direct 100% of that script.
I will say, for the first time, I'm excited to see what happens with Guardians.
Yeah, like, they'll bring in the next director, and he'll probably do, like, a once-over and make it his own movie with the new writer. So, like,
and that's Disney's like
story by James Gunn, written by the new guys that are doing, you know, like.
I still think they're just gonna toss the whole thing.
Depends on how much that the new guys want to use or not.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Because like, I don't think they want his name anywhere on.
I think they've already. I thought in that article from the other day it said something that they've already made plans to like move it from. Yeah, that was the calendar. Yeah, because like it's supposed to go into production in a couple months, and then I think come out next year.
Yeah,
right. So like they've already made plans to like push it back.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe now it'd be interesting to watch. Do you think a lot of people are like, Disney or not Disney, Warner Brothers should hire him or Sony should hire him?
There's a lot of indication of a lot of big name studios hiring him
for like one of their Spider-Man movies or like. Warner Brothers for one of their DC movies or whatever. And
yeah.
I'm like, I hope not.
See,
because it's just like, I think it's that same idea.
Don't hire him for a shock value. Yeah. Hire him because he's good, which he is good. It's not a question of like whether or not he got fired for being bad or whatever.
If you bring in, if one of those two studios hired him right now, it's shock value, and then you're just under the gun as like, so you'll work with this guy?
Yeah.
You know, like, they got rid of him because even though he did things 15 years ago, they didn't want to work with him. And after making 2 successful movies.
Yeah.
But you're, like, desperate enough to try to make a good movie that you'll work with this.
So here's the funny thing. Like, Fox has to hire them before Disney buys them, because if not, it doesn't matter anyways. Yeah. But, like, Fox will not give a shit given their reputation for everything they do anyways. Yeah. Like, they do not give a flying fuck. But like Sony has had a lot of bad press with a lot of their executives saying and doing shit. It's the reason Spider-Man kind of is with Marvel and split because of what happened with other leaks and shit. So I think Sony would be very like, maybe not.
Yeah.
And Warner Brothers, like, they're not good. They won't either. Warner Brothers has enough fucking problems with all their shit that they
fucking like, just not like anything like to that level, but like just the idea of like what the perception is for.
People are still bitching about this Snyder cut. Can you imagine they bring James Gunn in to do anything? We'll never fucking hear the end of anything.
Don't do that. Let it die down, and
in a
couple years he makes a new movie.
You're not getting a James Gunn cut or a fucking cut of dude. Like, let it go. It's not coming ever. If it does, I'll fucking eat my shoe. But like, you're not getting a Snyder cut. You're not. You got the fucking Snyder cut. The only difference is there isn't 18 hours of a shot of a wall. That is my biggest gripe with the Justice League. That fucking shot where it just focuses on the homeless guy for like, I swear to God, 3 minutes in the credit. Yeah. And I'm like, I get what he was going for with it, but he just fucking lingered on that shot. Like, someone was like, oh, he's like, oh, yeah, sorry, I fell asleep. Like, it's just, fuck. Get your shit together, Warner Brothers. We kill enough time yet?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you, everybody, for joining us on this week's podcast. I hope you enjoyed our little rapid-fire session. We're waiting for more news again.
Yep.
That's the joy of doing this podcast week to week, because sometimes there's nothing and we'll just be two white guys talking about shit. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully y'all come back and we'll see you next week maybe. Bye.